Hello everyone, we're standing here today at the World Hydrogen Summit organized by the Sustainable Energy Council. This is in Rotterdam. My name is Johann Wiebe from Hydrogen Standard and I have the pleasure to stand today with Uwe Kerkmann, CEO of H2UB. Welcome Uwe.
Thank you very much, it's a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic, pleasure to have you. Let's kick right off. Uwe, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what H2UB does and sort of what your role in it is.
Okay, so H2UB is the first open innovation platform in Europe for hydrogen startups along the whole value chain. We are addressing startups from Finland to Portugal, from Greece to the UK, in order to get together to work on their ideas and to get access to the evolving and upcoming hydrogen economy.
Is it focused on European countries only at the moment, or is it sort of has a global reach?
It's focused on European countries at the moment. It's a project partly funded by the German government, by the regional government of North Rhine Westphalia. 50% are coming from private investors. The goal of the project for 5 years is to build this European ecosystem of hydrogen startup, to attract more startups to this ecosystem and to find partners for those startups to grow.
Excellent. Innovation is of course of significant importance in established companies, but also in sort of new ideas coming to market. You guys have a program. It's called the Acceleration Program, if I understand it correctly. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the acceleration program, H2UB Sprint, is a 10-week program. It's a really tailor-made and challenge-driven program for 4 to 5 hydrogen startups. Twice a year we have a program, and we onboard those startups and bring them together with mentors and industry experts. And the distinction to other programs is that we work on their specific challenges. It's no one-fits-all program. We are addressing specific topics of the startups because the hydrogen value chain is very long, so the technologies that startups are working on are quite different. So we select the right industry experts, select the right mentors, and in 10 weeks' time we try to make the startups better than we onboarded them.
Talking about some of the startups and what they require to be successful, can you give us some examples?
Well, the first thing, of course, is the startup needs to be excellent, the technology needs to be excellent, and the young companies, or maybe not so young companies, need to be in a position to be part of the ramping up market. The second success factor is definitely to get in contact with established companies from different industries and sectors, because many of the innovation that we see in hydrogen are not unique innovations, but they are innovations for transforming an industry, for substituting fossil fuels, for example. So it's a lot about working with established industries to decarbonize or defossilize their ways of working. So the second factor, apart from the quality of the startup, is the right connections to established customers and potential partners. And this is what we like to provide to the startups in Europe, but also beyond Europe, because we have a lot of interested parties from Asia, from the Americas, from Australia. They're all very keen to learn more about European innovators.
Absolutely, because obviously innovation and startups is not bound to Europe only. Startups obviously need support, and one of that sort of support is financing. Tell us a little bit about the environment of financing in a startup environment. What does it require to get on board? What does it require to convince sort of partners interested in the space to participate?
Yeah. Of course, as in any startup field, it is important to have a good technology, a scalable technology, and the right business model and the right business plan. But what sets hydrogen apart from other innovation fields is that we have more than 95% of hardware innovation. So it's clear that in order to build a prototype in hardware, in order to build a first of a kind project in hardware, you need a huge amount of money. So it is very important to address the right VCs, the right corporate VCs or public institutions that are funding these kind of startups. So transparency is very important. We believe there is a lot of money around. A lot of investors are looking into green technologies, climate technologies, sustainability. With hydrogen, it's sometimes a little bit different. The ticket size is bigger, but on the other side, the risk is a little bit higher.
Good point. Risk obviously being an important factor also for financiers to decide if they want to come on board or not. Risk is one thing, but then there's a diversity of risk available as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the challenge of the risk of investing in hydrogen is that many investors and many companies, of course, are waiting for regulators and politicians to clearly define what will be the path to the future. I mean, it's always risky to invest in a new technology, but if the new technology is depending on a set of regulations, a set of standards, then it's of course a big issue for investors and startups and corporations to invest in this direction. So, and since we cannot tell definitely what will be the most promising path in hydrogen, will it be green hydrogen only, will it be derivatives, how will the hydrogen come to Europe, for example, where it is needed. So the risk is really depending on regulations and clarity. It's not so much the risk of like investing in the wrong technology. This is always, of course, part of the game. Some lose, some win, some fail. But the risk in hydrogen is when we talk to investors, we talk to startups and corporates, is we need to have a clear path given by politicians, given by governments, that for the next 10, 20, 30 years, this will be the path we follow.
Clear. You talk about visibility, you talk about transparency. You guys are working yourself also on enhancing that for the partners that you work with, having an own event coming up in June. What is that all about?
Yeah, the Hydroverse Convention we are organizing in June in Essen, Germany is the second one. We started last year, and the topic is that we want to form a convention and want to organize an event that is really focusing on startups and innovators, even early stage startups. So the convention is an excellent opportunity for startups to unite in Europe. We have more than 40 startups exhibiting there, many of them pitching on stage. We have some expert panels on the conditions of financing, risk-taking in dealing with startups. And as you said, it's really important to have transparency what is going on in this specific innovation scene, because in Europe we only have 600 startups dealing with hydrogen along the whole value chain. That is, compared to other startup communities, really, really small. So what we need to do is to bring them together from different parts of Europe to exchange views and to talk to your peers. And the other thing is that we want to make it easy for financing institutions, for VCs and investors, but also for corporations willing to cooperate to find those startups in one spot and not travel from one event to another event, but clearly focusing on this innovation thing. So we invite all those people interested in hydrogen startups in June to Essen, to the Hydroverse Convention, and make it a big happening.
There you go. And with a big splash. Uwe Kerkmann from H2UB CEO, thank you very much.
You're welcome.